Hello and welcome everyone to today's News Tonight, the weeknight news show where we're joined by special guests and our lovely patrons to discuss the day's gaming news. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by Ash Paulson, Steve Bowling, and our very special guest, Brandon Miracle of Break Room Arcade, and also the one who's animated our opening, who has the fancy background for us, who's done just a lot of work for us and is a big part of this community. And because of that, we actually opened up this episode for all of our patrons rather than just the $5 tier and above as sort of a special thank you, and let's call it a community day. So Brandon, welcome.
Thank you. It's a miracle. I'm here.
Who knew?
It's a blessing.
We should totally we should make this a thing and maybe get Dayumi on if she's interested. Maybe we could get T. Lopes on as a guest at some point. How cool would that be?
That would be so sick.
That would be pretty awesome. But not as sick as having Brandon Miracle here. We got the cream of the crop right here, man. You've done so much great work for us.
It's been a pleasure. Like every time Steve, I'll wake up sometimes to a message on Discord. It'll just be like @Merrowleaf, hey, I got a question for you. And I know it's one of two things. It's either, hey, I need you to make something for us, or two, I don't know how to do this thing. Please help me.
Yeah, it is always those things. So I met Brandon at the last E3 we were allowed to attend, and at the
so long ago.
At the meetup, he drew on Andre's badge. Like he did a quick doodle on Andre's badge, and I was like, "This guy's cool. I need to work with this guy." And so we exchanged.
Hold up. You put me under so much pressure when you asked me to do that. I was like, I have to make this look good. And I'm no artist by any means. So like I took my time, nice thick strokes, and then I drew Tom Nook. But man, I was sweating.
So Evernight Studio, I have to mention, says, I gave Steve a hand once. Was Brandon busy at the time? No, that's not true. So I've been Evernight Studio probably knows a little bit more about the feature I'm working on than anyone else in the community right now, save for the folks on this panel, because I basically was like, they made our lovely Today's News Tonight logo, and I was like, this person knows about typefaces, and I have a weird, super obscure font question. And fortunately, they were able to help me. You'll see some of the fruits of that labor. I don't even want to commit to a date, but hopefully soon.
Figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry, we got BJ Bovia in the chat, too, who is a fucking manga letterer, and I didn't think to ask them either.
Right? Good point.
I mean, they're busy, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's got to make
Not
Dragon
that
Ball
Evernight
for
Studio's
us.
not busy, but...
I want to say hi to someone we don't usually see in the chat since we opened up to Community Day today. Searchman DS, you're going to be the subject of my daily Mega Mention, because I'm pretty sure you're either referencing Searchman from Mega Man 8 or Searchman.exe from Battle Network 4 or 5. I'm going to guess it's the latter because you have DS in your name too. So let me know if I'm right, but I do a Mega Mention every day, and I saw your name and I was like,
honed in on something Mega Man relation.
Well, that should be, okay, Searchman EXE indeed. Nice. Got it. Nice.
Ash, I love how ready you were for that. Like,
I know,
not even a few minutes in, boom,
everything.
Mega Mention.
I'm always ready for a Mega Mention. Come on.
He's like, an obscure Mega Man reference on the internet? That's my shit.
That's what I do.
Yep.
I mentioned Mega Man on the show. All right.
I'm not sure how this turned into a Godfather reference, but sure.
I know.
It evolved
slowly. Kind of what
came out. I saw Brandon doing a New Jersey thing, I think. And I was like, oh, okay. Let's just make it cringier.
I have a very Italian family. I'll just preface it with that. I may not look the part, but you go one generation back, and it's basically the Godfather in my house.
Is it?
Wow.
I don't want to play into stereotypes or anything like that, but is it true they just like feed like it's all about food? Is that like is that stereotype true? Because
I would
seems
say
insane.
Yes. There's definitely a lot of eating going on. My grandfather, the way he talks, like you think of any like common Italian stereotype like Godfather, and that's the way he speaks. And I grew up with that, and it's sometimes it comes out, you'll notice it, but I try not to do that too often.
Well, that sounds great, man. I'll You're making me hungry. So, anyway,
Man, I'm thinking about food.
I know.
Thanks, guys.
I just ate. I
Jeez.
just had a lovely meal. So there you
GVG
go.
mukbang incoming.
I had half a Subway sandwich before we started.
I've been gradually learning to cook a bit more ever since I've been with Amy more, and because she was taking care of Kai. At the time, I mainly did it. So we had sugar snap peas, mashed sweet potatoes, and just chicken. And I did the chicken a little too long because it was looking a little pink on the inside. So I think I went from a little underdone to a little too overdone because it was a little dry. But I'm getting better. It's better than I could have done in the past.
Better overcooked than salmonella. So
Hey, that's you take your wins where you can get them, right?
I didn't make any salmon. I hate seafood.
Same.
Well-
unless it's raw. Sign me up for sushi every day, but
Yeah,
seafood
sushi-
otherwise is not my
Yeah,
thing.
it's weird. Sushi, and I can eat crab for like 5 or 6 bites, and then I'm like, nope, done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't handle it anymore.
well, it is
But-
just basically a giant sea spider. So
Yeah, it's true.
Ugh, yeah, it's true.
I
Those are the trigger words. We don't use that word around here.
Spider. Yeah, spider for
Yeah.
me. Always.
I feel like wasn't it like back in the day when people first saw lobster and crab, they were like, oh, this is a garbage food, like this is for the poor people, and now it's like the ritzy rich, like, here you go, here's a nice big lobster for you to celebrate.
Is that the case?
I think
know
so.
that.
I think it
was
is.
I think it was
Well-
a garbage food, and then something changed. Like it was had like a class change, and all of a sudden it was rich people only.
I mean, potatoes used to be considered food for the poor, and apparently they just hadn't figured out French fries yet because
Right.
potatoes are the best.
Well, not only that, carbs are the best food group, and that's like an objective fact. So, like, how could you not want
It's true.
potatoes as part of
I'm
your...
a type 1 diabetic, and I object to that.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, if it's a medical problem, then yes,
Yeah.
carbs should not be your favorite food group.
But
Definitely.
maybe I agree.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, my grandmother, the grandmother I always had for the holiday playthroughs, is a diabetic as well, but she loves her sweets. She likes her ice cream. She likes her cookies. So she's like, I always got room for dessert, and
Nice.
she'll sneak a little bit in.
It's
what
hard
should we
after
do?
every
We should-
C1Ds, man.
Yep.
You know,
I-
like especially around Thanksgiving, we have to sit around and watch our family members eat things that we could eat, but we probably shouldn't.
Ugh, that's...
Oh, that's rough.
I feel that in the summer nowadays because, and I think I mentioned this so many times to so many people, but I have a watermelon allergy, or melon allergy, really.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So, yeah, my
Didn't know
my
that.
throat gets clenched up and can't really. I'd never push it that far, and every so often I have a thought of like maybe I should see if it's still there. But then I think to the time at E3, Ash, where you were hungry as you were taking Tom to the airport, and
Yep.
didn't he give
I'll
you
never
like
forget it.
a banana? Was it banana or what
Yeah,
was it?
It was banana. So I've always
Yes.
had a fruit allergy, and the same thing that happens to you, Derek, happens to me when I eat most fruits, including melons. But bananas had always been one of my safe fruits. I could always eat bananas. Apparently, I found out from the doctor later after my hospital stay that allergy you can develop allergies later in life, or allergies you had can go away later in life. So apparently, I developed a banana allergy, and I'll never forget it. Neither will my wife. I was covered in hives.
Oh, I was
later
there.
that
Wow.
day. And yeah,
That's
you were there.
terrifying,
And like
man.
I couldn't stop. Like my eyes were just I couldn't stop crying, and like I couldn't breathe. It was weird. It was horrible. So I don't touch bananas now. Thankfully, obviously.
Yeah, I was like, is Ash going to die before he takes me to the airport?
Wow.
Nice. I love that. I love that. That's your concern. I just need this. I need this ride really badly. I just don't
Wow,
need it
Derek.
quite yet. Yeah.
Priorities, man.
Yeah.
I need to develop
Flights
a
are
cheeseburger.
expensive.
Wow. Pretty sure they'll
Well, it
refund
was-
you
it
if your
was-
ride died. I don't know.
It was
Anybody
a really
from
terrible
Delta?
place to be in too, because when the allergic reaction started happening, I had just dropped Tom off at the airport, and those of you who don't live in LA, trust me when I say that rush hour traffic on a Friday,
it's
Friday at like 5-6 p.m. getting back from LAX to Koreatown, I was just sitting in an ocean of cars, barely able to see and breathe, and I was like, what am I gonna do? And then my amazing
God.
wife said, get off the freeway and get to a Rite Aid or a CVS, which was the right thing to do, because I did, and I got to a CVS, and the pharmacist immediately was like, okay, you're having an allergic reaction, sit down, I'll get you what you need. She was great.
That's good.
Yeah.
I could see
Right.
myself at that time, being the stubborn one, it's like, just get home. It'd be fine.
Right.
Just got to get home.
Yeah.
Just gonna one-eye
I
it
can't-
until this eye swells shut too.
I mean, I can't die before I find out who the rest of the Smash DLC characters are. Come on, I at least got to
Woof.
make it that far.
You know, I have had that exact thought unironically before. Like, I hate flying. I hate flying so much. And I remember flying
really?
back from the Nintendo Switch preview event, and I was like, I can't die on this flight. The Switch has to still come out.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
gotta
miss
play
that.
Zelda.
yeah.
I think we've all had that thought. It's like, oh man, I want to see the finale of this TV show or this series or something before I die. Don't
Yeah.
let this happen. And
If I had gone before the ending of Naruto, I don't know what I would have done with myself.
Right.
I never,
Yeah.
I gave up on Naruto because I
It's
stopped
so
reading.
long.
I stopped reading the manga. I know what it was. I was reading the big three: Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, and just reading them week to week. And I wasn't enjoying them as much because I had done like a marathon to catch up with each of them. So it was nice just having that constant flow of content. And then I was just caught up in Bleach, especially sucks chapter to chapter. There is literally nothing that happens.
That was my concerned about you liking Bleach more than Naruto face for a minute.
No. So basically what happened is around the time that Bleach announced that it was on its final arc, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a break from all three of these and once Bleach finishes, I'll come back. Then it took way longer to finish that final arc than I thought. And I never got back to it. So that's why I'm not caught up on One Piece. I never saw the ending of Naruto. I think I saw it through a playthrough of Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, how it all ends, which seems insane. Just what all happens. But that's kind of how I fell off.
One of my best friends is obsessed with One Piece. Like they've been following it since the very beginning. They have it. They read ahead in the scanlations of the manga. Like he is obsessed, and he has not missed a single issue. And I think they're over 1,000 chapters now or something.
They're about to hit 1,000 chapters.
About to
pretty
hit
close.
1,000. It's crazy. And I feel like I'd like it. I've heard great things, but I don't have I can't take that on. I can't take
I want to get back
to.
to it. I really
Yeah.
do want to get back to it because One Piece is really good, barring the art style,
heard,
which I know a lot of people have trouble with. I've heard that many times before, but I did start watching One Piece around the time that they were finishing up Skypiea, which is the floating island arc.
Okay.
For those that know what's actually going on. It's been a long time since then, and I remember really enjoying, I think it was Water 7, which is the next arc, which got
Water
crazy.
7. Water
Such a
7
good arc.
locked in One Piece for me. Like when I got there,
Yeah.
I was not expecting the stream of tears that would follow over the course of that arc. It's really good.
Not to spoil, I mean, this is a slight spoiler, but it's also not because it's so far in the past now. But Usopp versus Luffy is legit.
Oh man,
Nice.
it's so good.
Like, you would
Actually-
not think that was a good fight, but that is a dang good fight.
Actually, the rest of the Smash characters aside, I know Steve will feel me on this. I can't die until I get the Ranma 1/2 revival
Yes.
/ reboot that I have literally dreamt of a few times throughout my life, and then every time I wake up, I'm disappointed
we
that
got-
it's not real.
We got Inuyasha though, Ash.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah, you don't
Akane is
do
not
that.
Kagome. Inuyasha is not Ranma. Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, is
Yeah.
that got the revival sequel series, is what
I
I'm
know
saying.
it hurts. It hurts. I know.
It
When I
really
saw that
does.
news, I was like, man, I'm happy for you Inuyasha fans out there, but throw us Ranma fans a bone, man.
At least
Come on.
Inuyasha got a conclusion.
I know exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ranma
That's-
got a conclusion in my head. In my head canon, it all. I got to see everything I wanted to see.
Ash
but-
freezing is a great segue into a news
it is
story.
a good segue. I mean,
Yeah.
barring you want to talk about anything else, Brandon, we can go ahead and jump into our news topics. And I'll admit right now, there might be a reason we've been just sort of off topic for most of it because,
Yeah,
Kind of a light
Bit of a slow
day.
news day.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
fact-
going on.
in
Shall
fact, the first bit of news we got here, if we want to bring it up on screen.
Transition brought to you by Brandon.
This is something we actually thought about talking about yesterday, but it was just so many big news, it just kind of fell through the cracks. And perfect for today, because a mysterious logo has been discovered in Crash Bandicoot 4, but only once you beat the game at 106%. If you go to the tutorial level, the very first level, there's a TV there. And if you spin into it, it shows the logos of Crash Bandicoot 1, Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot 3, and Crash Bandicoot 4. However, somebody discovered that once you get 106%, which, according to everybody that plays Crash, is a nightmare to do because that game is just ridiculous to 100%. There's a mysterious logo that appears to be like a Wumpa fruit in between like a cycle, which makes people wonder if like a rotation cycle, 2 arrows, I guess, in a circle. Which are making people wonder Crash sequel or Crash spin-off next. Like maybe there's a Crash Bash 2 or something like that, or what have you.
And
so
there was a recent leak of a PvP Crash game, and people think this may be in some way related to that. I'm not the biggest Crash guy, so I don't know, but
there is
sounds
like an
interesting.
actiony feeling to this design too, like with the spinning on the outside. Before knowing about the whole PvP leak, honestly, the first thing that came to mind was soccer for some reason. Like if you kicked around the Wumpa fruit.
Yeah, there you go.
Or
Mega Man
something
Soccer
sportsy.
2 featuring Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, God.
There you go. That's what we're getting. Clearly, that's the announcement here.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, guys, I ruined it. Yeah.
That explains
Sorry, I
the
ruined
blue.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
there you go.
Actually, it does look like a Sonic Spin Dash a little bit. Like, it's clearly not going to be like a Crash and Sonic crossover, but what if it was? Can you imagine? The internet would break that day.
That would be amazing.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
If that happens before Sonic and Mario, I'm quitting video games.
Yeah, or even Sonic and Mega Man. Like, Sonic and Crash, that
too.
should not happen before those two. Mario
At least
and Mega
Sonic
Man.
and Mega
Yeah.
Man have the comics.
Exactly,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
true.
that's
Yeah,
true.
Sonic and Mario have the Olympic Games.
that's true.
You know what would have really blown people's minds if that was the reason they made it so freaking hard is because it actually shows the Smash logo. Like secret, like
Oh, wow.
hints
Can you imagine?
that
Oh,
Crash
man.
is coming to Smash.
I mean, it
people
doesn't.
want it.
I mean, it is a
People want
circular
it.
logo. I mean, yeah.
And-
Can you imagine though? That's what they hid behind 106%. That's. I do love though. I love that there's something so tiny. It kind of reminds me of like the Rare Days stop and swap esque stuff in the N64 Rare Days, where they would hide away these really well hidden secrets that you sometimes had to earn. And so this feels like kind of a harkening back to those days. I like this.
I can't help but feel like whatever this is going to be super underwhelming compared to what people are going to imagine it to be.
That's what typically
Probably.
happens in these
Yeah,
situations.
people's
Yeah,
minds
I
go
look at it and I'm
wild.
like, it kind of looks like the Firefox logo if you squint. So
That's true. It does.
maybe
There
we're
you
going to
go.
get a Crash web browser.
I mean, he is on mobile, so there you go. Crash, the Crash internet browser. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was this in the game since it launched, or was this patched in later?
I think it was in the game since launch. At least it's hard to say for sure, but who would think to I beat the game 106%. Let's go back to the first level and mess around with the TV again. It's one of those things like
That's true.
What would make you think
Yeah.
to do that right away?
It's just
Azran
surprising to me.
127. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go
Brandon.
ahead.
No, go for it.
I mean, it's just surprising to me that something like this would take so long to be discovered. I mean, for the length of time that it's been, this would be one of those things in my mind that a dev would say, like, 20 years from now that there's an Easter egg in the game that nobody ever found.
Well, there's some. I can't remember the exact game right now, but there's some Easter egg in a game released in the last couple of years that isn't going to be like I think it's buried at the foot of some monument, and people aren't going to be able to figure out what it is until like 100 years from now. Like this generation isn't going to
man.
even be able to find out what the hell it is, and I wish I could remember what game it is because it's such a cool seeming.
I've heard
Easter
this
egg.
before, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'm sure someone in the chat does. Speaking of the chat, Azran127 brought up a great point. Crash X Rocket League, because the orange and blue in that logo, they look exactly like the orange and blue of the Rocket League teams.
That's a good point.
That
yeah.
could be cool, and then you could use the Wumpa fruit as the ball, kind of like Brandon was mentioning with Mega Man.
Nice.
Just do the
Yeah.
same thing, but on a larger scale with
Maybe
Crash
that's why I
Bandicoot
was
cards.
thinking soccer, actually.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's a platformer. You can do a lot with Crash. He does kart racing well, another attempt at a party game. Like if they could actually pull off a Mario Party like party game more so than Nintendo does right now, that'll be a huge hit, especially if they nail the online. Like, there is a lot of things they could do with Crash that Nintendo isn't really fulfilling with Mario that would make people really happy. Don't know if they'll do it, but we'll see.
I'm not a Crash guy, but if they made a good party game, I'd probably pick it up.
Yeah.
Just because there's nothing fulfilling that role right now.
That's a good point.
They're getting closer, but it's going to be a while, it feels like.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Super Mario Party 2. Come on.
There you go. I still need to play and beat Crash Bandicoot 4. And I can tell you, it is a tough game. I didn't get very far, but it's like, oof, this is kicking my butt. So
yeah, I played the first 2 worlds, and I really like it. And like Brandon said, I'm not a huge Crash guy either, but it's thoroughly enjoyable. Like, I like it a lot.
I know it's just a platformer, but is this something where I would need to play like the original trilogy before diving into?
No.
Is there any... Okay.
Yeah.
there might be some in-jokes, but that's about it. It's like they all you need to know is Crash thwarted Neo Cortex 3 times before, and you know. But
Mario beats Bowser, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. There's a bit more plot. There's a bit more to the characters that you'll get, some humor and stuff like that. But I think you can still enjoy it, at least from a gameplay sense, without those.
Yeah.
But the Crash Insane Trilogy is still a good deal and worth playing, in my opinion. If you like Crash 4, at least you can go back and like, oh, that's what I was referencing now, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
So
I've been kind of side-eyeing it.
I found the game I was talking about while we were chatting about this. It's Trials Evolution. And there were 5. There was like a really elaborate ARG game, basically that directed people to like 5 or so packages that were buried at very specific locations around the world.
Oh man!
And then and each box contained a key and a plaque. And then one of the boxes, though, in all 4 of them, in all 4 packages, on the reverse side of a metal plaque, there's a message that reads, "Midday in year 2113, first Saturday in August, one of 5 keys will open the box underneath the Eiffel Tower." None of us are going to be alive by then, but apparently, well, maybe we will be, but like not for much longer if we are.
Yeah.
And I mean, and apparently, like, people have interviewed, the developers, and they're actually doubling down on this. Like, this is actually something that the plans are being made. One of these keys is going to open something on that day in 2113. So that's what I was talking about. Like, the coolest video game real-life Easter egg ever. And we're not even going to be around to see it solved.
I'm sorry, I'll be dead. And who knows if people know what Trials Evolution is at that point.
Yeah, give me a fucking
Is anyone
break.
going to remember?
Like,
I hope.
Maybe give it 50 years. Maybe that'll be
I mean, one of the 4 people who got the packages better pass that on to their kids and be like, hey, this is a thing. You need to go do this. You need to travel to the Eiffel Tower in 2113.
No, you don't. No,
don't leave it
you
in your mom's
don't.
storage.
Oh, man. That Brandon leaking stories. What? I mean, come on, dude. I'm not going to be on my deathbed thinking about the end of my shuffling off this mortal coil and be like, there was a Easter egg for a dirt bike game. Go carry on my legacy.
I mean, there's something
totally,
fun
but it's
about
pretty
it.
provocative.
But,
It's kind of cool. It's like a real life ice key almost.
Listen,
like,
I hate
Why
to
100
do this
years,
on
though?
a channel called Good Vibes Gaming, but for real, everyone involved with this stunt will be dead. Everyone at Ubisoft will forget. It's a dirt bike game. It has no meaning. Go away, Ubisoft. Don't do this. You probably already fired the guy who came up with this for reasons I won't discuss. Let's shoo, Ubisoft. This isn't cool.
I mean, have they buried it yet? Can somebody just go around and dig up the Eiffel Tower,
right?
grab it,
apparently
and break
not.
it open?
That's the thing, is that they've made arrangements, they say. For
With
this.
Why
who?
couldn't we have done like 5 years or 10 years? 100 years seems so intense.
Did they contract Baby Kai for this? We'll all be gone. Like, they're like, excuse me, Mr.
And as
Bittner,
Evernight
we'd like to
Studios
talk to your baby.
points out, we already forgot what it was until you told us again, until Ash brought it up. So
They're hoping we'll forget.
clearly this
too.
isn't
Come
working.
on.
It's
Yeah.
the secret to time travel, so they can go
Like-
back in time and tell us what's in
Nice.
the box.
There you
We're
go.
already having trouble playing like PS3 games on PS5. No one's gonna go back and be like,
Yeah.
I unlocked DLC for this 100-year-old game. Let me boot my PS90.
It'll
I
be a
can
real
play
life. It'll be a real life Eggy coming back in time to improve our gaming lives in the present.
To stop 2020.
Yeah, or to stop 2020 from happening. Yeah, there we go.
Roman in the chat says it's going to be Hestu's gift.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Wow.
I love it.
That'd be the
I
real
love
kicker.
it.
100%.
Well, before we move on, I do want to mention somebody was asking my plushie of the day. This is Drippy from Ni no Kuni. I got the special edition when they came out because was a big Ghibli fan, so I got the special edition, which included like it came with that plush and a recreation of the diary or the journal that's in the game as well, which was pretty cool. And somebody was asking about Steve's sweater. He was looking
Oh,
pretty special.
yeah.
Right.
We won. That's what I'm going to point that out. We won. So John, our good friend and obvious Sonic imposter, got this sweater. This sweater. And so I went on Twitter and I called him out. I was like, John voted against Game of the Decade not once, but twice against Sonic. I was the only one holding up the fort here saying Sonic is the best. All right, if you don't know me and you don't know my stance on Sonic, he is the greatest thing ever created. Oh, the fat one. All right. Let's.
I remember
Sonic.
most.
I'm sorry.
Remember most of your like thing for Sonic Generations was just crapping on Sonic.
That's what I was going to say.
all right?
Your whole defense for Sonic
listen.
Generations was just throwing Sonic under the bus.
Listen, we know it's established on 2 YouTube channels that I am the world's greatest Sonic fan. I clearly
Nice.
needed this in my life, and they couldn't just send it to John. Breath of the Wild versus Sonic Mania. Come on. I mean, I don't want to relitigate or reheat this argument, but suffice it to say, I got robbed. All right, it was a sham election. I don't believe in the
Nice.
results. I demand a recount. But
So you're going to end up with more votes for John again.
we did.
Pay
we
a bunch
got
of money and have John.
We
get more
got the
votes.
sweater. We got the goddamn sweater. So
I love
John has lost his legal claim to wear
my
Sonic
God.
merch, and
You know what, Steve? Though you're in friendly company, man. Because I'm probably one of the few people who would seriously entertain a conversation about Sonic Mania rivaling Breath of the Wild, just because I love that game so damn much.
You're goddamn right.
Yep.
Numbskull, thanks for sending the sweater. We did it. We convinced a brand to send us a sweater. Obviously, that equates to victory.
Progress.
Damn right.
Victory. Well, speaking of victories, let's go ahead and jump over to our next topic. Throw it up there. All right. And Nintendo, earlier this year, Nintendo announced they were finally coming back to Brazil. The pricing of all of that was not nearly as ridiculous as it's been in the past, which is why they stopped sending their consoles to Brazil in the Wii U era. But they're going to be launching the Switch eShop in Brazil on December 7th, and a future update will allow users to browse the eShop in Portuguese. We are making progress for Brazil to get the Switch, have it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Great
Hell
news for
yeah.
our Brazilian friends, which is fantastic. Although I do understand that games and consoles are incredibly expensive there, so
Yeah.
I'm sure that won't change. But we're glad that you are going to get your own eShop finally.
But you know what? You can import a Switch from another country and then create a Brazilian eShop account now. So, I mean, that doesn't solve the problem of games being ridiculously overpriced, but I'm all for Nintendo making their products available in the native languages of people who enjoy them. So,
Yeah.
good
Is
on
the
Nintendo
Switch
for
in
this one.
Brazil, is it still region free?
I think so.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could technically
So-
create an account for another country if you want cheaper
Yeah,
games.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
could
that's
do
what
that.
they're doing
Yeah.
now. I think it's just for folks that really, they want it in their native tongue, which
Sure.
I understand the desire.
I get it.
Actually,
Luxiel's,
yeah, there you go.
Luxiel is actually saying, actually, the Switch has Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese since last night's update. So it's already implemented. So they just
Yeah.
hit the gun. There you go. And
Nice.
and Luxiel, I think, he is Brazilian, so, or they're Brazilian, and they're counted from the USA, which, from my understanding, is probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, now
Yeah.
here's the interesting thing. I wonder if this will apply to previous games. So, like, if you play Breath of the Wild on a Japanese account, it'll display the game in Japanese.
Right.
So I wonder if you can, for our friends in Brazil who already own Switches, I wonder if they can make a Brazilian eShop account and switch it over, or they could just switch their Switch's language now to.
Doesn't the Switch? Can't you set the language independent of the country? Okay.
Sure.
And then I think your games will automatically detect what language you have set, and then it'll just use that, won't it?
In almost every case, yeah. Unless for whatever reason, like if you go, the general rule of thumb is if you go into a foreign country's eShop and it shows that you've already purchased a game that you bought in another country's eShop, then the language options will work. But in some really rare edge case scenarios, like some games, it'll let you buy it again because they treat the foreign version as a separate title, however they list them in the eShop. But by and large,
I'm actually really curious if my Japanese copy of Persona 5 Scramble will magically become an American copy of Persona 5 Scramble once if it gets localized.
That's what happened to my Japanese copy of Taiko no Tatsujin, Drum and Fun.
Oh,
nice.
Interesting. Okay.
Because they added an English update, I think just a few months after launch and several months before it was coming to the States. So I bought the Japanese version and then got the English update and had the full English version months before it was coming out.
I need to
nice.
dig that game back out because when I bought it, I lived in an apartment and I always felt guilty about playing it because I was in an upstairs apartment. So I was like, this poor bastard below me just thinks I'm like punching the floor or something. But now I live in a house and the only people that will complain are my kids.
The new Taiko games come out on Friday this week too.
I hear they're
Oh,
good.
do they?
Yeah, the
Nice.
RPG ones.
I've been,
Man, I forgot about that. Yeah.
those are out in Japan now. I'm gonna have to check those out because I saw the trailer on the Japanese eShop and I was like, this looks dope. I need to.
It looks really cool. Yeah.
And there's a lot more songs than the version we currently have, which is also cool. I don't know how
Because
much
I have
overlap
Drum and
there
Fun.
is.
Bandai.
Yeah, I
let's
have
talk.
Drum and Fun, and it's fun. Well, it's fun, obviously. It's called Drum and Fun. But this RPG, though, looks like something else. Something else entirely.
But do you have the drum?
I do not
I
have
have
the drum
the drum.
itself.
Yes.
My box for it's back there,
Excellent.
right here.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, I have the drum too. It's in a closet downstairs right now, and every time I look at it, I'm like, I need to find the time to play this. But if there's an
drum-
RPG,
I went on Etsy and I got a cover for the drum to make the banging, to dampen the banging so it's not as loud. But it's also got Don-chan's face on it. So now I'm literally just smacking Don-chan when I'm playing the game.
Perfect.
Nice.
make an omelet, break a few eggs, you know?
There you go. Real quick, going back to Lucio, since he is from Brazil, he said they say that their, of course, account is from the USA, but the reason this is so important is because now they can dodge the gray market, which, yeah, that's probably a good idea. And they do confirm that Breath of the Wild changes according to the Switch's account. So their Breath of the Wild playthrough is in Italian because they're using their Switch in Italian. And they bought their games from other eShops too, Tropical Freeze from Japan, some others from Mexico. They all work in English or whatever my Switch language is set to. So there you have it.
By the way, since we have a couple font nerds in the chat tonight, play Breath of the Wild in Japanese. Like, the font that they use for the Japanese version of Breath of the Wild is so much cooler than the one we got in the States. Like, they use the traditional, like, Legend of Zelda SNES font for a lot of stuff in the Japanese
cool.
or in the American version, but the Japanese version uses the same font they drew up for the original release of Zelda 1, the disc version.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
That's cool.
It's kind of weird because it seems as though the Western versions of Breath of the Wild use what's essentially like Arial, like bold italic, some variation of Arial, and normally that would be really boring and plain. But for some reason, to me, it works for Breath of the Wild. I actually like that they still use that in Age of Calamity as well. I know it's not the most interesting font, but for some reason, to me, I find that it works. But I hear you though.
Nintendo lately, at least since the Switch has come out, has had a really like simplistic design pathos, I guess you would say, for like all their games, like Zelda, Odyssey, Super Mario Party. They're all super simple, just like really simple fonts, very simple solid colors for a lot of things, and I like that.
Yeah.
They like to find their generation of the Switch with these simple designs for all their games.
It's a major improvement from the tiny font of Xenoblade Chronicles X to the much more readable font of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So they're learning.
Evernight Studios says it's a very simple font that lends itself well to the minimalist nature of Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I think you're definitely hitting on something there. Although it's funny, BJ Bovia says, honestly, I'm a less is more kind of guy with UI stuff. I like it. Simple and clean, which reminds me of Kingdom Hearts 3
I think
and
that's the
Melody
point.
of Memory. And I hate the font that they use for Kingdom Hearts 3 and Melody of Memory. I don't like it at all. So, I don't know.
I'm not somebody that like draws into fonts, so I don't take notice. I notice I'm not a detail type guy. Just give me my good overall experience and I'm pretty happy. Oh boy. Well, let's go ahead and continue on and switch over to our next topic if we want to throw that up on the screen. And we have our 18th Maximus Cup for Tetris 99 announced, and this one is Super Mario All-Stars themed. What a shock.
Yeah.
I haven't played Tetris 99 in a long time, so
Same.
I played
Don't
it
really have
last
much-
night.
Yeah.
wow. I mean, I don't think this is going to get me playing Tetris 99 more again because I skipped out on when it was Fire Emblem. I skipped out on they might have had a Xenoblade one and all that, but I mean, it's cool that they have all these themes. I like that they changed it up. It makes it exciting to earn them, but I just never get a chance to go back and earn
I've
it.
personally shifted gears to Tetris Effect Connected, especially
Fair.
with the multiplayer options in it now. That said, I do like the design of this one. I especially appreciate the tiny, super tiny Luigi in the upper left corner of the playfield.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's so small compared to Mario.
I know.
It's weird.
Right.
Yeah,
It's funny.
I don't think that I'll hop back in for this, but my wife is a huge Tetris fan, and she I suck at Tetris 99, but it's something that I'll throw on like in handheld mode almost exclusively now. She was watching The Queen's Gambit last night, which if you haven't watched it, fantastic, like really really great show.
It's really good.
And she was watching that, and I was like, all right, well, I'm the type of person that I have to have multiple things going on. So I was like, I'll just play some Tetris. I suck at it anyway. And we were watching the show, and I was like, I do miss this, but it's not, I don't know, man. I bounced off of Super Mario 35 already. Tetris I was already like really bad at, so I don't feel like I'm bad enough to where I'm like, I'm not going to improve. So there's no point in like grinding it out. So I'll just pick it up every now and then for idle play sessions. But I will probably ask my wife to try this, and because I've seen her win a few matches already, and I'm like, I'll never get there, but I'd like to see what happens if you win a Mario match. But
I've never won a single Tetris 99 match. I
think
don't know
the
if I
best I
will.
same.
Like,
Yeah.
Mario 35, I excel at because I love platformers. Same with you, Steve. I know you're good at it too, but Tetris 99, I can't crack. And at this point, I've missed so many of the themes of the premium themes that you need to earn tickets for. Not premium, but you do have to get tickets for them. I'm not going to grind these out. I'm never going to get, I'm too bad at Tetris 99 to ever earn any appreciable number of tickets in a decent amount of time. There's just no point.
Fair.
I've never won Tetris 99, but I think I won my first ever game of Fall Guys. It was my first ever match that I ever played. And Super Mario 35, I won the first match I ever played.
Nice.
I heard that from quite a few people. Like, if you're an old school platformer fan, you probably won Mario 35.
The funniest
Yeah.
thing about Mario 35 in every match is someone always dies to the first Goomba, and it's never not
Someone
funny
does.
to me. It's always
Yeah.
funny.
It's inevitable.
My wife was watching me play a game the other day of Mario 35, and you usually start on 1-1. Just most people select 1-1 as the first stage, and she was watching, and she's like, "Why are so?" And she hasn't played platformers like I do, but she plays games, and she's like, "Why are so many people dying in the first 20 seconds? Is everyone's playing World 1-1, right?" And I said, I think generally most people are playing 1-1, but yeah, like you said, Brandon, a lot of people die to that first Goomba, and I mean. It happens to the best of us. I've certainly made that mistake before. Not in Mario 35, but hey, it happens.
But I'm assuming in most cases it's probably, a kid or someone who's never, played classic Mario before. But man, does it still crack me up.
See, I always laugh because I just convinced myself it's someone who either got up and walked away or is just
Oh, that could be.
completely hammered trying to play Mario.
Could be that
They're like,
too.
oh, what, man? What's jump? No, man, I'm dead. Shit.
They're playing Super Mario 36.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Going next level on that. Oh gosh.
I'm sure
Yeah.
John has already gotten the new theme in Tetris 99, the All-Stars theme. I'm sure he has.
I'm sure they just
afraid
send
of
them.
John
Whenever
when
it comes
comes
out,
to
he'll get it.
Tetris.
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean, I've seen some crazy puzzle players over the years. I'm, you know, we all love Tetris Attack, Panel Upon, you know, whatever you call it. I don't know if any of you have ever seen or aware of Clement on YouTube and Twitter and all that. He plays Panel Upon, and watching him play is nightmare inducing because my God, can he chain together combos and just wreck people. Like I'm just like, I can't imagine anybody really beating him. He seems that good.
Oh yeah,
I love watching like hardcore Panel Upon tournaments at conventions like PAX East, and it'll literally just be an endless stream of garbage being dumped on both players, and the combos never ending. It's
this is why I
crazy.
want Panel Upon 99 or whatever. Just do something with it.
Oh
Admittedly,
God, if we could get that 99, oh my God, it would be over for me. It would be over.
The first time I've ever played Panel Upon, admittedly, was when it came to Nintendo Switch Online on SNES. That was the first time I ever played it. And I felt like such a baby because I had like no instinct for how to set up combos, or I wasn't even very good at using the controls. And then I watched videos of these other players or competitions, like you said, and it's crazy what these people can do.
Puzzle League 99 would be so hype.
Yeah, I find just throwing yourself into it against those tough opponents is how you do it. Because I picked up Pokemon Puzzle League, and I was having some difficulty, but then I got to the higher difficulties, and all of a sudden you have to think rapidly, and you get that sort of flow to you, and all of a sudden you're getting those combos and getting what you need to do and sending over the garbage. It's a bit of a learning curve, like to get to that point. Like you need to get into that mindset again, but once you do, it is satisfying.
Oh yeah, I just beat versus mode actually in Panel Upon on hard, and I beat the last 5 or so stages on hard in that game are really satisfying to win because the game really cranks up the difficulty when you get that far on hard, and it's just a lot of fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, a few people in the chat have pointed out that of course the 18th Maximus Cup hasn't started yet, so John couldn't possibly have the theme yet, but I know he will as soon as it's
Oh yeah, he definitely will. Also, something that you'd like, Ash, is from Vash. Says, imagine Mega Man Battle Royale, just a constant boss battle rush. Winner is who beats the bosses first or the last one alive.
I love that. Give me Mega Man 35, Mega Man 99. Like I'm down for any of these. Any Battle Royale style Mega Man game, let's go. I'm in.
If they do it with
ready.
Mega Man 2, they could just take from the original 8, or they could add 9 and 10 if they want. Just because they all use the same assets and I think the same engine, so you could just make a big old Battle Royale game out of that.
So many.
It would be weird to have only 1 through 6 and 9 and 10 though. Although they do have sprite versions of some of the 7 and 8 bosses for things they did in 9 and 10. So, but I mean, hey, who knows? They could do it. I want that or a Mega Man rhythm game. How's that not happened yet?
I want a Mega Man Maker. Give me the ability to design my own courses.
One, yeah.
So there actually is one.
Official?
Capcom actually just released like an official. They didn't make it themselves, but they're associated with it. It's called Make Rockman, I think, and it just came out like a month ago or something.
Oh wow!
Huh.
Well
Yeah.
done,
I hadn't heard about it.
Ash. Where the hell is our gameplay preview, man?
I don't. Well, it's not like a Switch game or anything. It's not like a. It's a kit.
PC?
It's weird. It's like a kit that teaches you how to program a simple Mega Man game.
Dude.
It's not like a game. Yeah.
So it's educational.
Yeah, it's like an
In a way.
edutainment title. It's called Make Rockman World's Greatest Programming.
Can Ash learn to
And it comes out
program
on
if Mega
November
Man
5th.
shows him how?
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been hearing from people that Rockman Cross Dive is really good on mobile, but they're just not releasing it over here for whatever reason.
That's weird.
Yeah, I've heard that they're going to, but then that just keeps seeming not to happen. I hope they do. I mean, it's not like I've seen and played a bit of it. It's not the most amazing game ever, but it is a new Rockman X game on mobile where you can play as characters from other Mega Man franchises, which is pretty cool. In fact, they just added Battle Network characters this week, including Base.exe, which I know one buddy on Twitter is going to be super happy about. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it comes to the West sometime. We'll see.
Is it a gacha game?
Yeah, it's a gacha game, but it is it's compatible with like Bluetooth controllers, so it's meant to be played like a regular Mega Man X game, but it does have gacha elements. So it's not like, it's not X9, of course. That's still the golden
Apple
goose right
TV,
there.
Though?
Huh?
Does it support Apple TV though? Like, could I get this running on an Apple TV with a controller hooked up to my TV?
Steve, you probably could, because you're so technically inclined. You probably could figure out a way to, jury rig that to happen.
I have a mother prototype hacked onto my NES Classic, so maybe.
There you go. Nice. I can tell you how to get that on the TV. Do you have an adapter on your phone that allows you to record it? Like use XSplit or whatever, or OBS?
That's true.
Put that on there and toss it up on a full screen net monitor, and boom.
Oh,
there
well,
you go.
I've got AirPlay on this thing. Yeah, I put on the weird black glove. I'm fiddling. Anyway, I just realized I raised my weird black gloved hand onto the screen. I've got AirPlay on this TV. So do you, Ash. We got the same TV now. So
yeah, we do.
You could, in theory, just AirPlay the app over to your TV, but I imagine the latency would be just
horrific.
I have AirPlay
especially
on
for a
mine
platformer
as well. Like, I don't have latency when it comes to the video feed, but there's a huge amount of latency with the audio. Just to goof around with it, I tried playing Super Mario Run on my television, and the gameplay was fine, but the audio was coming in like a second late, and it was terrible.
Oh
yeah.
Speaking of gacha, Derek, you'll appreciate this. Soulcaster in the chat says, replaying Xenoblade Chronicles 2, trying to get that blade. Gacha give me nightmares. I know you had the same
I never got her.
experience.
Never got her. I opened
never got her.
so many cores.
I gave up.
And I will say, I got to the point where I was like, when it says a legendary core, you should be guaranteed a rare blade.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's all I want to know. That's all I say.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. I will say I did enter Chugga Conroy's been doing his playthrough of Xenoblade 2, and he has this whole thing where he'll give you the statue of, like, the winner gets the statue of Cosmos to whoever predicts the episode where he actually gets it himself, because he's not stopping his playthrough until he gets every single blade. So that includes her. So if you can predict the episode she gets it on, so I'm going to count. I counted on his luck, and I think I said 65.
Okay.
So I doubt I'm going to get it, but
yeah.
Emil does have amazing luck. Anyway, we're just shooting the. We're not getting through these topics
shooting
too quickly.
The proverbial shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. There's not too much to say on this one, so let's go ahead and pop it up there. All right. And we have Dead Cells Fatal Falls DLC, which was announced, which I have not played Dead Cells, but I believe it's also like Hades. It's a rogue-lite game that people adore. This one's 2D action platformer based. And I don't know much about it. When I was on vacation once, friends were playing it and just adored it. I know it's popular. This is cool. Like, more content for that game is always good.
Yeah, the people love this game. I kind of bounced off it again because I'm not really into roguelites, but I love the visual style of it. I love watching people play it. It's the pixel animation in this game is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
I got the most I know about this game is the whole IGN controversy with it. It was another one of those ones that I probably shouldn't have written off, but did, like I have with Hades so far this year. It looks cool. Like Ash said, I really enjoy watching the game, but nothing about it really made me say, like, oh man, I got to go out and get this. And I hate to say it, but I kind of feel the same way about Hades. I am going to play Hades, but I'm looking at Dead Cells and I'm just like, yeah, it looks cool. I would love to watch a stream of it, but it's not a game that I think I need to rush out and open my wallet for. But I'm glad for people that love it. Any game that is well liked, getting new content is never a bad thing. So.
Mm-hmm. I think it's one of those things.
The trailer for this? Have you watched the trailer?
I have not.
It's like 20 seconds of nothing happening. It's very odd.
Really? That's funny.
The character's just standing in different locations, and at the end eventually falls, which I'm assuming is a pun on Fatal Falls.
Right.
And then it says landing soon.
Yeah, it's only $5. And the information about it says 2 entirely new biomes, the Fractured Shrines and the Undying Shores, as well as a new boss, are parallels to the Stilt Village, Clock Tower, and Timekeeper areas and their alternate paths. These additions will provide significant new options for fans looking for middle-run exploration and are brimming with new ways to succumb to a terribly painful death. The update is also dropping a cache of new weapons, details of which will be revealed soon. So that seems like a decent amount of content for $5.
Yeah,
that's a good price.
But I get what Steve says, especially with us writing off Hades initially as well. It's a game you look at and be like, it doesn't seem that different when you first see it. It's not like when you look at Ori, for example, where it's just so luscious and gorgeous, and you're just like, oh my god.
Right.
It's all about the gameplay coming through, and you don't really get that until you play it.
Yeah, sure. Agreed.
That said, play Hades.
Oh my god, Hades is so good.
2 weeks left. I will be the first to admit that I thought Hades was one of those games where people are inexplicably just horny for the characters, and that was it. And I'm like, I don't really get horny for video game characters.
When you play the game, it's not really that inexplicable because those designs are meant to evoke something both male and female.
Yeah, I guess where I was at in my mind, again, I haven't seen a ton of the characters, but like, what the fuck is up with Garrus and people wanting... He's like a weird bird alien thing, and people are super horny for him. He's from Mass Effect. I cannot...
It's his personality.
Garrus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Garrus is like the ultimate bro, man.
Yeah, that's why people like him.
Being down with your bro is one thing. Wanting to screw your bro is a way.
No, it's BioWare. You gotta go full on.
Is Garrus? I can't remember. Is Garrus a gay relationship option, or is he only available for female shepherd?
No, I think he's a gay option.
Is he okay? I can't remember.
I mean, Luxiel nails it and says, Steve, I think you do not know the internet enough. You're totally right. I mean, I get it. If it's on the internet, someone's going to try to have sex with it. But, I mean, so basically, labored point is I was just thinking like, oh man, people are just really horny for the character designs in Hades, and that's why it's doing so well. Clearly, there's more to it than that. But
wait till you hear the voice performances. They are downright incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
nice.
They're so natural.
Y'all gonna make me buy Hades tonight? I got content to make.
I gotta play too.
I know, but I'm not making a video on Hades right now.
Well, maybe you are now.
On the subject of Garrus, Z Patty says calibrations, which if you played Mass Effect, you know exactly what he's talking about, and that's awesome.
All right, well, let's go ahead and jump over to some less pleasant news, if we want to throw that up there.
All right.
So, a New York resident that's been using his parents' home to store his game collection has suffered some loss because his mom threw out a substantial amount of the huge games and hardware collection he has been storing at his family home, and she just threw it out. According to him, they joked on Twitter, people are going to die. I just found out my mom a few years ago threw out all my PS1 games. 500 plus games, half still sealed. I'm going to kill somebody. It's over $500,000 worth of games since she last checked on the collection. Left my old stuff in storage at my mom's home. Today I found out she threw out my Ataris, Coleco, Intelli, Famicom, Super Famicom, TurboGrafx, PC Engine. I don't even know what NGAES is. Neo Geo.
Neo Geo.
A Neo Geo.
Yeah.
Mega Drive, Master System, basically every system and game I never took with me. And as if that was not bad enough, There was some non-gaming collateral in there where she threw out 2 Marshall stacks, 14 pedals, a drum kit, a board, all the skateboards. A comic collection was also thrown out. Yeah. I guess she was tired of all this stuff in there, but why wouldn't you contact your son?
Oh yeah,
him.
like,
I was gonna say,
yeah, just say, hey, I need to get rid of all this stuff because I need room. Do you want to come pick it up? Figure it out, but don't just throw it away. That's heartbreaking.
I want to know what the mom feels now, knowing the value of this stuff. Where's the update?
I think it's more a case of the son pissed off the mom. Like, there's no way the mom didn't know that her son wanted this stuff. Like, come on. Even putting aside the whole oblivious mom doesn't understand value of video games, right? Like, let's just, which is, I would say, an unfair stereotype against most moms. Like, we live with a generation of moms who had to go out and buy these for us. They know that they cost money, The other side of this, though, is whether you're an oblivious mom or not, you definitely know that a drum kit's expensive. Like, there's no one that goes, drums are trash, let's throw these away. That is an act of spite. Like, that is somebody saying, get your shit out of my house.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel bad for everyone here because the mom probably caught heat from the son. The son lives in New York, though. And I've never lived in New York, but I've visited enough to know that you don't typically have room for all that kind of stuff if you live there.
No.
So, especially if he's working at a video game store and doesn't own the store. So I feel bad. I would, this is gutting. Like, I think about, all the little missing pieces of my own collection that I had to part with over the years. And I'm like, I couldn't imagine if it was just the whole thing. Like, if someone was
I'd be losing it. Like, this is literally my lifetime ever since I was 4 building up my collection of games. To suddenly lose that would be devastating for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst I've ever come. I mean, like, this is horrifically unfortunate because I know as a kid, like probably when I was like 12 or something, 13, we had some painters working on my parents' house, and one of them absconded with some of my Super Nintendo games. And unfortunately, they knew what they were going for because the stuff they stole were like Chrono Trigger, FF6, Mega Man X, X2, X3, Mega Man 7, Secret of Mana, Earthbound, Final Fantasy IV. Like, they knew exactly what they were going for. But I mean, I was able to replace all those over the years. This is so much more gargantuan than that. Like, that's just the saddest. That sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks.
I do have to point out, though, that the tweet thread that this was originally posted in is gone. Like, they deleted
Maybe
it.
too much attention, or just...
And so, I don't
know.
Being the skeptic that I am, I have to wonder. Like, there's so many elements about this that ring hollow or are strange, right? Like, there has to be more to this story. Like, one, if ignorant though I can be about things, right? Like, if I came across something that I didn't know about but looked old and brand new, I wouldn't just chuck it. I'd be like, let me hop on Google and see if this is worth some money. like that's my first instinct. Again, also with drums, like, I'd be like, somebody's going to pick these up on OfferUp for $100 or $200 or something. I could make a mint here selling my kids stuff. To me, that's at least better than trashing it. Like, I think altruistically, right? Like, if I was the mom, the mom that chucked all this stuff, I would sell it and give my kid the money, right? As opposed to just throwing it out. Oh, I've got a Victory Coke.
Nice.
Yeah. It's not often I get delivery here on Today's News Tonight.
Would the mom be entitled to at least a tiny portion of the money for housing all this stuff for so long?
You would think so.
I would say that's the good son move. Like, if I mean, don't get me wrong. I think I would be just devastated. For me, if this was me, this would not be about the $500,000 at all. It would be about, like Derek said, your childhood, like replacing your childhood
collection. Yeah.
For me, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a sealed in box kind of guy for most things. But like, if I buy a game, I'm going to die. All right. We're all going to die. We talked about this. Ubisoft knows we're going to die. And I'm not going to take my sealed copy of Mario 2 with me. My kids are gonna take it and be like, "Dad was an idiot. I'm breaking this." So I just don't. I buy games with the intent of opening and using them. I buy figurines and things because I'm not gonna be like, "Wow, that looks great in the box up on that shelf." Like I didn't spend $129 on Breath of the Wild to know that there's a Master Sword in the box. I bought it to take it out and put it on a shelf and look at it.
You can't appreciate King K. Rool's glory if you don't open the box he's in.
Yeah,
No,
I know a lot of
that's
people
very
with
true.
amiibo collections that never opened them out of the box.
I have no joke. This is. I'm glad my mom and dad don't actually watch the show. I have always wanted to get someone who does custom amiibo to take a King K. Rool and turn it into my dad because they have the same body type. And I'm like,
Oh man, that's so good.
Oh no!
If that happens, he has to do a cosplay at some point.
I mean, I guess that makes
Oh yeah.
all of a sudden it makes sense why it's your mom who's a patron and not your dad.
Right.
Throwing him under the bus like that. Wow.
she would agree if she knew what K. Rool looked like. All I
well,
need
if
to
she's
do.
watching,
Fair
this
enough.
is what
Yeah.
he looks like.
Yeah, there you go, Mom. Sorry about that.
There you go.
I apologize.
Steve, the sad thing is, like, the first thing I thought of, it wasn't, altruism or, or anything that you were saying. Literally, my first thought when you said that the thread had been deleted, I was like, oh, well, it's probably because a lot of internet assholes found out that she had thrown away this guy's games and started harassing her and threatening
Fair.
her. And
Right. That's also very
that's
possible.
exactly what I went to first, sadly.
Yeah, see,
That makes
it's-
sense.
I mean, it's weird to me, though, because the guy posted it from, like, the store's account, not his own. I mean, there's a lot of... I guarantee
Yeah.
there's some weird update that comes out of this, like something out of left field. Like, I don't know. But either way, it got his store some attention, so that's good.
Yeah,
Support
that's
local
for
game
sure.
stores, especially now, if you can.
The best
Yeah.
outcome for all of this is that because of all of the hubbub and buzz, that all of these items get found, or some of them get found.
True.
Assuming
Maybe.
they're not, like, in a trash compactor somewhere.
Oh.
Please don't be.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I follow, like, a garbage man on Instagram who, like, the only thing he posts are his gaming finds, like, when he's running his route. And he finds
that's cool.
so much stuff people throw out. Like, he found a Super Nintendo brand new in the box that somebody just
What?
chucked.
Oh,
Or
God.
he found like,
Wow.
he finds like loose bits of really rare, valuable games. Like someone will throw out like an SNES box for Chrono Trigger, and he'll pick up the box, and then later he'll find a cart and he'll put them all together and clean them up. I'm like, that is amazing to me that people like. I mean, so it's plausible, is what I'm saying. It could have
it is
happened.
very-
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people are just like, I don't want to go through the pain of trying to sell this. Let's just toss it.
Yep.
So
I viscerally
Yeah.
hope this didn't happen, though.
I know.
Man,
By the way,
you could even just go to GameStop, like the lowest of the low, and trade it in for some money.
Yeah, get like
Yeah.
$85 for the whole collection. You'll be fine.
Really quick, congratulations to Soulcaster. It sounds as though they got Cosmos. So,
Oh,
Right
there you
here
go.
during the
congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We'll credit ourselves with you getting Cosmos. It's because of today's news tonight.
Miracles
Obviously.
do happen.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Brandon miracles do happen. Do you ever say that to people? Like, is that what-
Occasionally, most of the time, it's being said to me.
you're married now,
Yeah.
so I feel like you're missing out on like a great Tinder profile opportunity.
No, never had to go down that road, thankfully.
Hey,
Yeah.
I no joke met my wife on Tinder. Like
Hey, I'm not saying you can't
out
have
of the
it.
blue. Oh no, I'm not like offended. I'm not over here being like, harumph, how dare you besmirch
I'm
the
sorry,
good name
Steve.
of Tinder. I swiped right. No, I honestly, I was like, nothing good will ever come of this. And then I met my wife on there. So miracles do happen is what I'm trying to say.
There you go.
I worked with my wife at the age of 17 at Chuck E. Cheese's. That's our history.
Nice.
True love.
That is
That's
the
awesome.
best story to ever come out of a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes, indeed.
Yep, that's for sure.
It's the only good thing that came out of that shop.
Kairudo
gosh.
in the chat brought up a really good point. Today is actually Xenoblade Chronicles 2's third anniversary. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they suggest. Maybe that's why. It's not because of us, but maybe because it's the anniversary that Soulcaster was able
Maybe
to
they
get
upped the
Cosmos.
time.
No joke.
Yeah.
there is code in the original Pokemon games. A lot of Pokemon games where on special days like Christmas and stuff, like shiny rates increase or decrease or change based on what day it is.
Isn't there
It's
one of them?
entirely
They do it on your
possible.
birthday, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's so
there's
cool.
There's
Yeah.
all kinds of weird
Yeah.
stuff. So who knows? Maybe Xenoblade also has some baked-in weirdness into its code.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday. We're going to be a little bit nicer to you.
Nice.
There you go.
Hey, Triss is here. We don't usually see Triss in the chat. How's it going, man? I'm glad,
Going on, Triss?
glad to know you're here.
Yeah. Hey there.
Soon coming up on Xenoblade Chronicle X's 5th anniversary, which we still
Wow.
need an X2.
Yeah.
Either way, we're running a little over again, so let's go ahead and dive into our final topic of the day, and it's not going to be a long one, so let's go ahead and throw that up.
Ba-ching.
All right. Halo Infinite might be getting a Battle Royale mode in 2021. Okay.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
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 It seems inevitable, to be honest.
I mean, it makes sense.
yeah.
There's some fun stuff that come out around here. It's just a rumor, but it's one of those plausible rumors, and
Oh hell yeah.
yeah, it's
If they want Halo Infinite's name to reign true, then something like a Battle Royale needs to come alongside it to keep people playing.
Right.
Look, if I can
So-
grief people in a Warthog 100 at a time, I am in. I'm not good at Halo.
Well,
I'm
what
not
I
good
would
at
like
Battle
if it
Royale.
was you're on Halo and the pieces just fall apart one by one.
Oh, that would be rad, actually.
That is cool.
The wilder part of this rumor is that apparently 343 plans to launch Halo Infinite in 4 quote-unquote chapters between, get this, 2021 and 2031. That,
No.
I mean, the thought was to not have any more sequels, so
Yeah, that's true.
No.
let this
No. Listen, I don't know if anyone else in here played through Halo 5. Did anybody? Am I alone?
I did not.
I did not play Halo 5, no.
Halo
I did not hear
5
good things, though.
Halo 5 was such a wet fart of an ending. Like I remember thinking, like, I was playing through Halo 5 and I was reviewing it, so I had no one to talk to, and I'm like, oh, okay, this game not so great. And then it's like, okay, it's starting to get good. Oh, I can see where this is going to get really good, and that's where the game ends. Like, I don't want multiple of those to make up Halo Infinite. Like, I don't know. I don't have much faith in 343 and their ability to deliver me a solid, self-contained game. I've 10 years? 10 years? Like, that's one of those
Yeah.
things. Like,
I don't know.
I think it would be fine if each one of those chapters is a fully realized campaign.
Right.
Like, Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out in several parts, and I feel satisfied with, like, the length of the first entry in that. So, like,
Right.
if they can at least hit that on each chapter, I think that's okay. Treat the game as a platform rather than Halo 6.
I think that's the idea.
Yeah.
Right.
if they can pull together a good narrative, then I'm fine with it. But I just, after Halo 5, I feel like a little burned on that, and I'm not sure that I have the
Sure.
faith in them to deliver it. But that being said, it's a Halo game. I've enjoyed every Halo game to some degree, so I'll pick it up. I'm definitely picking. I mean, it's on Game Pass, so I'm definitely
You're just gonna
picking
have
it
it.
up.
Good point.
And
Yeah.
even if you don't have Game Pass, apparently, according to the rumor, this Battle Royale would be free. So they're trying to do the Fortnite strategy.
That is-
I guess.
succeed unless it is free. Like,
Yeah.
it has to be free.
Yep. I was going to say, but taking a huge game like Halo and giving it a free battle royale, like that has a lot of potential. That has an absurd amount of potential.
I don't know. There's something immediately appealing to me about having a Halo Battle Royale, just because of my maybe it's my memories of playing Halo 1.
Oh man, Halo multiplayer is some of the best. Like, it is ridiculously fun. It has that quality where it's like, it doesn't matter if you suck at it, because I suck at it, and I still absolutely love playing it. Like, I will jump in with anyone anytime and play some Halo and get completely demolished, but never feel discouraged or frustrated about it.
There must be different levels of suckage then, because I cannot have fun in Halo multiplayer because I can't ever survive for more than like 2 or 3 seconds at a time. Typically, I'm so bad
Oh,
at
see,
shooters. I think the only multiplayer shooter I've ever had fun just jumping into and feeling like I can, at least not be completely discouraged is the original Modern Warfare, like the original COD4. But Halo, I can't. I just get killed immediately every time. So I must make you look good, Steve.
Oh man, I
must
don't know.
be that bad.
I don't know that anybody can make me look good. Like I will attach a plasma grenade to my foot and just run into a room to kill people.
Nice.
I will do whatever it takes. Real quick to Z Patty in the chat. I'm down. You want to play Halo sometime? I'm absolutely down. I'll download it tonight. In our Discord, we have a matchmaking channel. Hit me up in there.
I think that's part of the appeal of specifically a battle royale for Halo. Is just that, Halo lends itself to be a little bit sillier. Like Steve said, attaching a sticky grenade to your foot and then running into another room and blowing up. Like, I could see myself enjoying the battle royale setting, just being a goof in the middle of a match and not really trying that hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see this doing really well.
I want a battle royale version of Star Fox 64's multiplayer. That's
Ooh,
what
there
I
you
want to
go.
play.
Ooh, wow.
We're gonna throw
I
down
used
if
to
that
play the
happens.
hell out of that with my dad. We'd play multiplayer all the time, and I played the Star Fox 64 3D version of the multiplayer a few times with friends. Of course, it wasn't online because Nintendo got a Nintendo, but it was still a lot of fun all those years later. Let's have a battle royale version of that. That would be a blast,
please.
I think. Yeah.
Oh, I would take that in a heartbeat. I used to love
Same,
doing
yeah.
that. I still need to spend more time on the Falconeer, which I hear has some strong Star Fox vibes to it. I kind of got more of a Panzer Dragoon feel from it when I played it a little, but going to try to jump into that once I'm clear of some other responsibilities.
Nice.
There's a couple Kickstarter indie Star Fox SNES types on the way. I forget the names of them, but
Yeah, I saw one highlighted, and
saw
it
one
looks
of
pretty
them.
good.
Yeah.
I've played the demo of. I wish I could remember the name of one of them, and it's pretty good. So like if you're in the mood for something like that, definitely look those up. I think they're pretty cool.
The Star Fox style gameplay, the original Star Fox style gameplay, is not done that often. So
No,
True.
Yeah.
there's a wealth of possibility there.
I like
Yeah.
to play at higher frame rates than like 15 or whatever it is on Super Nintendo, and these run at 60,
Right.
so that's a lot better.
Nice.
There you
Yeah.
go. But yeah, we'll have to see if a battle royale will actually come for Halo Infinite. We'll have to see when Halo Infinite comes out to get that all figured out. But with that, we've covered all the major headlines from today's news. And before we sign off, Brandon, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me over here on YouTube at Breakroom Arcade, and you can find me personally on Twitter at BabaBabs. It's BABABAABS. So my friend made my Twitter for me like 8 years ago, and he decided on my handle for me. So eventually that's going to change, but that's where I'm at.
Fair enough. All right. And,
Thank you, fellow Brandon, in the chat.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely do good work. So thank you so much for joining us. But of course, we also have to give a special thanks to all of our patrons at the producer tier for helping to make this show happen. It is, we're truly grateful. And of course, a massive, massive thank you to all of our patrons at the executive producer tier and above. And those fine flukes folks include Rob Arman X, Dan Entwistle, Z Patty, Adam O'Sullivan, Floating U, Christopher, The D-Pad, Vesmio, OnStar, Diogo, Kieran Phillips, Benny Yao, Mama Bowling,
Hi, Mom.
Geller,
Sorry about that.
Shiny Turkey, Titus Malvolio, Jake Pelka, Michael Phone, Mitchell Herring, Jay Acosta, Charles Zaz, Andrew Medeiros, and Jonathan Belmare. Remember that you too can become a patron over at patreon.com/gvgaming, where you can watch today's news tonight live for as little as $5 a month, occasionally $1 a month if we do special things like this on occasion, where we open up to the entire Patreon. So we'll see. But thank you all so much for watching. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Good Vibes Gaming for more good times like these. And until next time, good night, good vibes. Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.